It's so insane that Brad Bird directed this movie and wrote Ratatouille. But for some reason, he also made Mission Impossible. That's insane.
Huh?
And yes, we are back, ladies and gentlemen, once again. Welcome to another lovely episode of the Chilli Penguins and I. How are you doing today?
Hello.
And the crowd goes wild.
Is
He's entering the second quarter. What?
Was this a football game? What's going on?
Yes, I'm the commentator. Oh, he's scoring the goal. The goal went into the box thingy. It's a goal. I don't know what they call it.
Why is it a he, huh?
Yes,
Why is it a he?
Hey man, Cristiano is a he. I was thinking of Cristiano. Okay, let me dream about Cristiano.
Fine. Have your dreams.
Yes, we are here. I am Jobadiah Tunhouse, and as always with me.
Hello. This is Pies of the Seventh here. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. I just had a cookie, so I'm feeling alive.
Got a cookie, man?
When was the last time you got yourself a cookie?
Valentine's Day. I didn't get myself a cookie, but I got a cookie. I got a biscuit.
Nah, still, I'm talking about you went to the store. You talk to the guy like, sir, can I have a cookie? And the guy gave you the cookie and you said, thank you very much. And he had the cookie. When was the last time you got yourself that? Oh, but this is a box of cookies.
Shit.
Because I got myself a box in the fridge.
I want to say January or December.
December? Did you say December?
Yeah.
That's sad. Get yourself a box of cookies, man.
I need help.
You gotta have a box of cookies. Yes. I just finished my Eat Some More's, so I gotta get another box. You can't live in a house with no snacks.
True. We've got fruit. I don't know if that counts.
Yeah, yes, it counts. I got fruit too. I got mango and half a mango and 2 bananas. So I love me some fruits.
Yeah, I got a lot of fruits. Had some peaches the other day.
Peaches are the best. I love peaches. Peaches and nectarines. Give me that all day, every day.
Controversial take. Don't like nectarines.
Get out of here. That's no.
No, why? Peaches, 100%. Sign me up. Nectarines, why?
Nectarines are so good. They're so sugary, bruh. They're so good.
I don't like the texture.
Oh,
I don't like how it feels.
You like the hairy. You like the hairy texture of the peaches with the fuzzy thing.
When you wash it.
Yeah, but it's still a bit of it is still there.
I like it. But you know what it is? Like a peach is hard.
I was about to say, I don't like when I'm biting.
Yeah, that's what I want.
Same with the pears. I like me some soft pears. I'm a soft guy. My roommate and I used to fight all the time because I like the soft pears and he liked the hard pears. It was insane. It was war. I was like, I will not live in an autocratic room. This is not the Soviet Union. I'm so sorry. I have no idea what the Soviet Union was about. Don't hate me, Soviet Union. Okay, I know it's gone now. Speaking of gone, man, with 3 minutes in, we haven't even mentioned the movie.
I was gonna say, speaking of Soviet Union, during the Cold War is when this movie was based.
See, I knew my segment was based on something. I just did not have the historical facts to back it up.
Yeah, you were getting there. This movie was based during the Cold War.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. We are, of course, talking about the Iron Giant.
Yes, Warner Bros.
Cult
classic, The Iron Giant.
Bruh. Let me tell you something before we get into it.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. Watching 2D animation, it felt so good. It re-invoked the childhood wonder, the love for animation. This movie, besides the story, just watching an animated 2D film from the 90s is already it tickled a part of my brain that I didn't know existed, and now when I go back and watch all the animated classics.
Dude, this film also was animated so well. So well. It's like you said, when you watch it, you get taken back to a different time. When life was much simpler.
It reminded me of, bruh, I almost got emotional. Remember the first Superman animated series? Is that a plane? Is it a dare? It's Superman.
Yeah.
And I remember we didn't have it at home, so we used to go to my friend's place who lived as a kid, it seemed so far, but now looking back, it's literally like 2 streets away. But at the time, it was like traveling through mountains and valleys to go to my friend's house, and they would watch the Superman. And I remember the scene where he would stop a train with his chest, or when he got shot in the chest and it kept moving.
Yeah.
And it's just those days, primary school, 2D animated. Oh, give me that, bro. Give me that.
Dude, I just missed that time. It's just, those are the days. Funny enough, speaking of Superman, he appears in this film as well. Look at you in the segues.
Yeah, I'm killing him, son.
Who would have thought that Vin Diesel will play Superman before Henry Cavill?
Who knew? He was in his bag.
He was.
It was in his bag. It's also awesome because obviously it's Warner Brothers and DC Comics, so I'm surprised at how little they used Superman. But at the same time, it wasn't a Superman movie, so it makes sense.
It was the idea.
It was pretty cool. Yeah, it was an idea. They want to push it, but nonetheless, great. This is great cinema right here.
It honestly is. It honestly is. I think let's get the IMDb. What are they saying with that?
Man, the Iron Giant from 1996, rated PG. A young boy befriends a giant robot from outer space that a paranoid government agent wants to destroy.
Oof.
Just a lovely plot right here.
Yeah.
Also, man, Vin Diesel been having a deep voice. Goddamn, in 1996 he sounded like this.
99, like, dude, he's been,
bruh.
Before Groot.
I'm like, yo.
Before Family.
Before racing cars, Vin Diesel had a voice.
Funny enough, he's got a lot of emotion in that growly voice of his. It's
so weird. Vin Diesel voice acting, yes. Vin Diesel acting, questionable. I wonder how many voicing roles does he have?
He should have more. He's got a very unique voice. But you can't really hear what he's saying. But yeah. You should get more. But this film, animated film directed by Brad Bird, based on the, I think, 1960, let me get my dates right, 1968 novel of the same name. I think it's called, the novel is called The Iron Man, by Ted Hughes.
Okay.
So this is his sci-fi animated version of it called The Iron Giant. Like we mentioned before, it's set during the Cold War, and the story follows Hogarth Hughes, who is a curious young boy who discovers this massive robot from space. And basically he befriends the giant, teaches it about humanity and morals. And then as the story goes on, there's a lot of like paranoia and fear from the outside that threaten their bond. And then this also like leads into like the very heartfelt story around it. There's like a lot of like social commentary in general that's infusing here. Visuals are beautiful.
Beautifully animated.
But story-wise, just getting back to that, I think it's a very tale-old tale of like people fearing what they don't understand. And instead of trying to understand it first, they go on the attack. And that's what happens to the Iron Giant. And Hogarth, which is a kid who was our, I guess, main character, is the innocence in the world that helps get other people to see reason and give our giant sort of the benefit of the doubt, kind of, maybe.
Yeah.
And at the end, the robot has to then decide who he wants to be. Like, what does he become, what he was built to be, or does he choose his own identity, which is one of the themes of the film, which I think is pretty cool. And it stands, I want to say this film stands the test of time.
Oh, 100%.
24 years later, or 25, 26. My math is off today.
1999, so it's 26,
I think.
5.
25?
Yes.
It's 2025, dude.
'26, yes. Goddamn, you're right. I had to do a little math. Yes, 26.
26. Our math is not on today.
It's not. Hey, man.
Quick math.
We're not the numbers guys.
Yeah. But yeah, I think 26 years later, still animation is still beautiful. Stands the test of time. Story-wise, beautiful. Like shout out to the animation team. The one thing I'm not a fan of is like, what were people doing in 1999? Why didn't they watch the movie?
What do you mean?
Bro, the film it didn't do well at the box office.
It was animated, so when it was 1999.
Bitch, we had Lion King back in those days, and that was a hit.
Yeah, but this is Warner Bros. Against Disney.
Fair.
And Disney goes all out with their things, and that's one of the things that I sort of do not like about some Warner Brothers projects. Remember we talked about The Nice Guys the other day,
yeah,
where it didn't make much. Warner Brothers has this dark cloud of their movies. They're great movies, not doing well. But then later, that's the thing. The Iron Giant is regarded as a classic, whether it made money at the time or not.
Yes.
We highly respect the movie and go down as one of the greatest films. Greatest, not just animated, but overall
greatest
films to come out. And maybe that's its legacy, that it didn't make money at the time, but now, freaking amazing.
Yeah. Warner Bros. need to talk, because I mean, there's other things about this film that when I was researching about that, I was like, how? But before we get into that, let's talk about the narrative and like break down the script.
Yeah, it's one of my lovely films because it's one of those movies that has socio-political commentaries without being on the nose.
Yes,
and 100%. Whether you know of the context or not, the movie itself still stands as a great film.
Yeah,
and you add into that, it becomes a masterpiece in a way.
It genuinely does, and I like how it in a way, it within all of what you just mentioned, it follows a very not simple, but follows a classic 3-act structure. If you think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Act 1, we've got the introduction where we meet Hogarth, this like lovely kid. We meet the giant.
Bro, Hogarth is such a lovely kid. Really is. The voice acting, we're gonna get into the voice acting obviously, but Hogarth's voice is just so warm.
Yeah.
It's so warm, bro.
Is. How do you not love this kid?
How could
There's
you not?
No way. We meet him, we meet the robot. It's the introduction, so we meet a lot of the characters that we need to meet, and then Act 2, we get it's like that's when we sort of like we've got the bond, and like a bit of the conflict arises where Hogarth is basically teaching the giant about life, what's good, what's good, what's not good. That's also when the military is like the military guy, I forgot his name, but he's like I hate that guy, investigating.
What's his name again? Kent.
Something. Yeah, Kent. Yeah.
Kent,
He's investigating, bringing like a threat to this beautiful friendship that we have developed and seen on screen. And then Act 3, we've got the climatic choice where we've got like, okay, the giant has to now think of who he wants to become. Is he going to be this destructive thing that he was built to be, or does he choose to be something else, or choose to be who he wants to be?
Yeah.
So I think
it's told very it's simple but beautiful. There's power in simplicity.
Yes.
And just giving us heartfelt moments and emotions and everything.
100%. And I think this is one of like a really good way of storytelling, because if with this not simple, but like with this 3-act structure, You get something that you're giving something that's easily consumable or consumed by kids or a younger audience. But then it's not just for the younger audience, because there's a very mature approach to this.
It has that serious undertone.
Yes.
That stays an undertone. It doesn't come to the forefront because it's still a lovely family animated film.
It is lovely, but also what I like is what stays is a good one, because it stays a consistent undertone. It doesn't get serious and then forget it was a serious thing all of a sudden, and then come get serious again. It stays a serious undertone throughout while being a family movie on top.
Yeah, but I will say that the opening sequence when the fisherman encounters Iron Giant, that's some horror shit though. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
that sequence it plays into it almost became a horror sequence because I have by the way, people don't know I have a fear of giant things. Mm-hmm. So just imagining myself in that fisherman and seeing this, oh my god, the giant, it was so, he's in the ocean and this giant robot is standing, bro.
First of all, you crash through the window,
bruh.
Like,
and I'm like, yo, what? I would have cried and shit my pants for 40 days and 40 nights. That's what I was gonna do.
You'd never go to the ocean again.
No. But also it does a great job at setting up sort of the scary element of the Iron Giant so that we can contrast it with he's actually just a cool dude.
Yeah.
Who's clueless and is trying to find his identity. Because if he wasn't seen as scary, the point wouldn't have been as powerful.
This is true.
Yeah. It's a great thing.
We didn't see if we, especially us as like adults, we didn't see the potential of him being dangerous or like what he's capable of, it wouldn't have been as effective as you mentioned.
Yeah. Which it would have been like one-dimensional.
Yeah. And
but
I think
it works.
One thing about this film, I want to say, it's very efficient.
Obviously.
But it's like efficient in its writing, efficient in like balancing when is it going to be humorous, getting the suspense, getting the emotional depth. It doesn't stay too long in like the comedy bits, doesn't stay too long in like the suspense, doesn't stay too long in like the emotion. Everything is just right.
Just right. Down to the minute detail.
Yeah.
In the words of Homelander.
I mean,
you gotta shout out the cast though.
Bro. Who are the people? Who are the voices?
The movie has Eli Marienthal, who plays Hogarth Hughes. Adorable voice. I wonder how old he was at the time.
That's actually very good.
We have Harry Connick Jr., who plays Dean. Dean is such a cool guy, though. He's such a cool guy.
Yeah.
Jennifer Aniston, who plays Annie Hughes, Hogarth's mother. Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
Annie is an animated mother. Listen, man. Listen. I'm going to say this, and I'll say it with a full chest.
Say it with your chest.
She was fire, my guy.
Yes.
When I love it when animators make fire people, but not the typical beauty person. She's just an ordinary lady, but she's beautiful. But also it's Jennifer Aniston, so there's that element that man, she got a heart. Know what I'm saying? There was that. So shout out to Annie Hughes. I know you're not real Annie, but you're holding it down with a boy, single mother. I hope you raise a beautiful boy.
Shout out
Vin Diesel as the Iron Giant. Great voice acting from Vin Diesel as always.
Beautiful voice acting.
James Gammon, Foreman Marv, the military guy. And then we have Christopher McDonald. I remember Christopher McDonald. He's a great guy. He's a great actor. I've seen him in a couple of things. Who plays Kent Mansley. We have Clarice Lichman. I've seen him in the things. I remember him from the superhero movie. He played the poor man's Norman Osborn.
Yeah, I remember that scene. Okay.
Awesome cast from the 90s.
Yeah, really
as always.
Nice cast.
And of course, it was written by Tim McAnally's, Brad Bird, and Ted Hughes. Oh, Ted Hughes is credited as a writer. Shout out. That's awesome.
Shout out.
And directed by Brad Bird. Brad Bird is a heavyweight.
Yeah.
Animated films director.
Yeah.
He gave us The Incredibles. Shout out.
No, Ted. I mean, not Ted. Brad Bird has given us some classics. I mean, yes. I feel The Incredibles 1 and 2 classics, obviously. Ratatouille.
I can't stop saying Ratatouille is Ratatouille, bruh.
Why?
It's gotta stop. Because there's a video of a guy who say, who would win between Stuart Little and Ratatouille? And this guy's like, Ratatouille can whoop Stuart's ass. Like, that's kind of true. Even though the rat's name is Remy, but as black people, we call him Ratatouille.
Yeah. No, but he's given us, yes. I think he's, in terms of directing animations, he knows how to balance the themes that are needed. For example, humor, action if it's action, family dynamics, with an emotional pull. He knows how to give us like a good balance of things and make it work.
Like he understands what the animation medium needs.
Yes. Good thing you said animation medium.
Listen, anyone who says animation is a genre, we know this. You gotta get stabbed.
You can jump off a cliff. I'm sorry, don't do that.
Yes, actually do. It's so insane that Brad Bird directed this movie and wrote Ratatouille. But for some reason, he also made Mission Impossible. That's insane.
Huh?
That's insane, bro.
He made Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol.
Oh.
Mission Impossible 4. It's Mission Impossible 4.
I didn't see that coming. I didn't know that.
That's versatility right there, guys.
Yeah, that's versatility right there.
Yeah. In any medium, he will make a great film. He will make a great story. No doubts.
Yeah. No, well, this guy, he's got a good future ahead of him, and I think he knows what he's doing.
If he keeps it like this, he might be, he might be somebody. He might be somebody. He might, make a career out of this, if you ask me.
Yeah. But I think this film has a nice, good balance of characters. I mean, with like Hogarth, young dreamer kid, big heart, teaching the robot about good choices and kindness. We've got the Iron Giant, misunderstood machine, learning about humanity, inspired by like Superman's heroism. We've got Dean, very laid back dude, very laid back artist, making art out of like old metal.
Shout out to Dean.
And he's sort of like, I feel like he sort of becomes a voice of reason at some point. And then we've got Kent, the government agent, who is like paranoid and obsessed with controlling the unknown.
And it's also, the humor in this movie is amazing.
Yeah. One of my favorite scenes is the coffee scene.
Oh, when he's like, I drink coffee, and then he continues to bounce all over the place. He's like, I did homework. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's actually quite funny.
One of my favorite scenes is so many awesome scenes, but the restaurant scene when we first meet Dean.
Yes.
And it's like, hey, Mister, don't move. But my friend is under the table. For me, the voice acting made this movie. It reminded me of like great 2D voice acting. I don't know why, but it just feels different.
I think it is
3D. What it is?
You know what I think it is? It's a combination of the voice acting and the character animation. Because the way they animated the characters and the way the voice actors performed to match that animation is perfection. Yeah. It's a seamless perfection.
And it's great casting as well.
Yeah.
Also,
100%.
there's a scene where Dean is driving like when they're driving away after seeing the art robot at Dean's place, and so Kent is driving away with the guys, and he looks back he sees the robots in the town, and he goes, what yeah. Those sounds for me, you don't get those sounds no more. I don't know, maybe I haven't seen the latest animated movies, but those characteristics, those just little nuances that they bring to characters, I love them.
You know what it is? I feel like I've heard those sounds in newer animations, but the reason why it stands out in this film is because it was used sparingly. It wasn't everywhere, and it wasn't exaggerated. Because I feel like I've heard those sounds, but like they become too much. Whereas here, it's like you get a little taste of it. And a lot of things in this film, I feel like the humor was there. It was definitely humor there, but they didn't lean in to having so much humor and so many funny parts or so many funny gags.
Yeah.
Which I think
it had.
Yeah.
It was a good movie, and I think it didn't take itself as a 100% comedy film.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, that's what made it work. Compared to, say, Ice Age. Or just straight up.
That's
lols the whole time. Or Madagascar, which is just lols the whole time.
Yeah.
This is... Yeah, it's almost like... it is a comedy, but not too comedic.
Yes. And I think that's what made it work. And like the animation style, bro, like you mentioned in the beginning, it's such a nice, refreshing moment to see a film that's majority 2D animated.
Bruh.
It's so refreshing.
I love me some 2D animation.
Yeah, I mean, even like the giant was like 3D, but like the way that it blends into like everything else is just seamless.
That's the thing. It's so awesome when you can clearly see that these people are artistically gifted, but they don't draw attention to those skills.
Yes.
At the end of the day, it's about the film, it's about the story. So even though they had the technology to make the giant look like that, it didn't stand out so much. Or like, hey yo, it's like, okay, he's a giant, he's 3D, but he fits so well in the world of the film.
Yes, and I think it's like it creates, even with like the colors and everything, they get like a nice atmosphere. It was very warm at times. Get a lot of like nostalgia, and I feel like Brad Bird focuses a lot on like the emotional aspect of things, and doesn't like, hey guys, look at this robot, look at how shiny it is, look at how technically good we've made it. Even though Austin's like, it's more about like the overall film, and everything just fits and blends in well together.
It has that warmth to it.
It does.
Even though obviously it's a crazy robot during crazy times, but the movie itself, it's just so heartwarming. It's just the kind of movie where it's a feel-good movie. You can watch it and have a good time, and not try to unpack a lot of things. And movies will be having Easter eggs and, oh, you missed this part about the movie. Actually, the poetics. It's just like, no. Yes, it's a movie. Yet it mirrors the Cold War. But at the end of the day, it's just a movie about a kid who finds a giant, and that's enough. As a story on its own, it works.
Yeah, as a story, it definitely works. And I like how it's one of those things where it works on different levels. And depending on where your mind is and how you think, you can extract a bit more from it. Because I feel like it's a great movie for kids, but it's also a great movie for people with more developed minds as well.
Obviously, yeah.
I
actually didn't know.
Yeah.
When I was watching the film, I didn't know the voice was Jennifer Aniston, so I had to pause and be like, "Who's that?"
Can I tell you something?
And I'd be like, "Oh, what?"
I didn't know until we just looked it up right now.
Really?
I had no idea.
I was like, oh, who's that? Because every time I watch an animated film, my first thing is try to guess the
voice,
actors and actresses. But obviously, this movie was made in the 90s. I was like, okay, I don't know most people here. Then I was like, oh, Jennifer Aniston, 1996. Okay, 1999. Why do I keep saying 1996? 1999. 99
only voice I recognized was Vin Diesel, was family. But the others, I feel like it worked so well with the character that I was just like in the film. I didn't even get to question like whose voice it is. I was like just watching and in the actual film.
There's a thing I saw lately where people are advocating to hire voice actors and actresses to voice animated films instead of actors, and part of me agrees with that.
Yes.
Especially because the actor sort of becomes the drawing point of the movie, and it's not special.
Yeah. Because what it's supposed to be, you as a voice actor, you're supposed to make the animated character come to life and draw attention to the animated character, not to yourself as the actor.
Not to your name.
Not to your name. Yes, it should be about the character you're playing. And
that's what lost me about the Ice Age movies when I started bringing in Drake and Nicki Minaj, and I was like, okay, what are we doing here?
What is this?
Yep. That they had Drake and Nicki Minaj and some, I don't know who else.
When was this?
Back in 2014 or 12, when Nicki was big and Drake was, Drake.
Yeah, I definitely missed these because what?
Bruh, it was so annoying. I don't think I watched those. Maybe I did, but I forgot about them, and I'm glad I do.
Wow.
Because they were just like, not for me. Because now, what am I doing listening to Nicki Minaj on a cut? Oh no, bruh.
True.
Drake, and the world of Soulja Boy.
No, I think it's like, I mean, there are definitely actors who can do voice acting really well. I'm not saying that, but I feel like if you are an actor that also does voice acting, sure. But if you're just a regular actor that's used to just doing main acting, and you, as a studio executive, going and just like taking anyone that's famous to do a voice acting role, I feel like you cheapen the character that they're supposed to be playing, because you need someone who's actually going to put in the work for that.
Because now when we're watching the movie, we're busy thinking about Drake.
Yeah.
And that you lost. At that moment, it's over for you.
Yeah,
with them. What do you call them? Them Trolls movies. They have all the casts. The Sing movies, they have all the pop singers.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. No.
Yeah,
I like the first Sing movie. I'm not gonna lie. It was kind of cheesy. Yeah, I liked the first one. It was kind of cheesy, but I was like, it's nice.
It's
Have you seen Kubo with the 2 strings?
Yes.
It's one of my favorite animated movies of all time.
Love it.
The thing I wanted to say about that is that Matthew McConaughey has a voicing role in that movie, and also a voicing role in Sing.
Mm-hmm.
But in Sing, it was more highlighted as Matthew McConaughey, whereas in Kubo, it was just a character that he was playing, and I think it fit perfectly.
That's actually a great example.
Yeah,
that's a great example. And it's
the Iron Giant.
Yeah, I think it's Jennifer Aniston. Even though it's Jennifer Aniston, for me, I didn't. Maybe now that I know it's her, I might go back. But it's like I feel like everyone was cast in a way that they are there playing that character and enriching and enhancing the character that they're playing.
Yes, and one of the things I realized with Jennifer Aniston's character, the mother, is that when I was watching, because I told you I was like, oh, that's a lovely voice. Who is this? Jennifer Aniston. Oh, that's lovely. And I went back, but at some point, I'm just seeing Hogarth's mother.
Yeah,
I forgot about Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah,
because I'm like, this is a lovely character. Like when she goes to look for Hogarth in the woods the first time, and she's like, don't do that to me. It genuinely, that's such a motherly thing to do. Yes. Where you were mad at your child who you thought was missing 2 seconds ago.
Yes.
And now you're mad at your baby. And now you're like, don't do that. That's scary.
And forget who the actual person saying it is. It's just the character that's saying it.
Yeah. I also love you see how they developed his their relationship, Hogarth's mother and Dean.
Yes.
Like when she went in and she started liking all the art,
all the
I was
art.
like, oh, my guy is in. That's right there, man. You're in, boy.
He's in.
You're in. You don't gotta do much.
You ain't gotta do much. That was actually pretty
also,
nice touch.
This is a bit cheesy for me. I'll admit this is a bit cheesy, but I believe in this. It's like, this is the thing. That's why I love this movie so much. I love about this movie because it's so heartwarming. It's like, how would I put this? Like Dean, right?
Yeah.
You can see that Dean lives as a recluse because he lives in a junkyard, and he makes this arts from metal, which is not very popular, right?
Yes.
And he's not necessarily well blended with the community because he tries to agree with the old man that he saw the monster,
the odd people,
and then he ends up getting ridiculed as well. But you have. I gotta know. Okay, hold on. I gotta stop calling her Hogarth's mother. Annie? What's her name? Annie, yes. Okay. Then you have Annie, right? Mm-hmm. She goes in Dean's place. Obviously, they've met at the restaurant and Dean was trying to be flirty, but failed dismally.
Yes.
But then, when she goes and sees his art, she's taken by the art because Dean wasn't trying to impress. She was just trying to do something. And it's like, most of the time, a person will like you just because of who you are. You don't gotta try so hard to impress. Because she was, you remember, he was confused. Not confused, surprised that she was like, oh, I like this one, but not that. I think the staff was a bit slapped down. And Dean was like, oh my God. She noticed that. And for me, that's kind of, I don't know, I relate to that. And at the end, when there's like, oh honey, we gotta go now, it's like, oh, they're together, and they just seem such like a good couple, even though we didn't get a lot of screen time with them.
And I think that I think led to that is because there was a part in that warehouse when she was like complimenting the artwork, where she said, where she was asking about, so this is where Hogarth has been coming after hours. And then he was like, oh, you knew about that? She said, well, I do now. It's one of those things where it's subtle, but it shows that she trusts him with her son.
Yeah.
And as a single mother, you can't just be going... And she seems like a great mother. So for a single great mother, obviously you want the person that you're with to be a person that you can see that is good with your child. So I think that was another element.
And for her to just be like, it's Dean, he's gonna be fine.
Yeah. Also,
nobody says honey as beautifully as Jennifer Aniston.
Yeah.
When she goes, oh honey, I'm like, yes, say it to me. Also because I'm a huge fan of Friends. Yeah. I've seen her say honey a lot of times. It just hits every single time. Shout out to Jennifer Aniston.
Shout out.
Nobody says honey like Jennifer. Even like comedians in Hollywood who like do impersonations. If they're doing a Jennifer Aniston, the first thing they say is, oh honey, because she just says it the best way. Nobody says honey like Jennifer Aniston.
Nobody says honey like Jennifer. Nobody puts baby in a corner. That.
Actually, do you think they write the honeys in the script or she just says it?
It's probably it's her now.
Because there's no way you say it that much and every script has honey in it.
I think it's like she has to say it. It's like she has to say it.
Yeah, but they don't make it a thing. Only the fans and audiences notice.
True.
Maybe if she's ad-libbing and she says honey. Because all the movies have honey in them.
You know what? I think maybe, I think you could be onto something. She could be ad-libbing.
It's like Brad Pitt with the eating.
With the eating?
Yes.
What eating?
You do not know Brad Pitt eats in every single movie.
I did not know this.
It's like Tom Cruise runs in every movie.
It's always running.
Brad Pitt, yes, Brad Pitt eats in everything. Literally, there's only maybe a handful of movies where Brad Pitt does not eat in a film. Harrison Ford always points at someone. I wonder if he point. Have you seen the new Captain America?
Not yet.
God damn it! Maybe he points there. Who else has a thing? Leonardo DiCaprio always screams at someone.
Yeah. Quentin Tarantino always shows feet.
Because you have to.
I guess, yeah, some people have things that they go with. Quite interesting. Let's talk about some of the themes in this in the Iron Giant, because I think a lot of them, like, even though one of the ones is the Cold War paranoia and fear of the unknown, I feel like even that you can relate to it in like today's time. And I think that's it's a good theme that it. And what I like about it doesn't necessarily focus on like the Cold War and what's going on. I mean, sure, there was this newspaper that showed something about satellites in space, whether is it Russia or whoever, but it's like it's very subtle stuff.
Yeah.
And then you've got like the whole government side, with the whole initial reaction of the guy being like all in for like shoot first, ask questions later, or even never, basically, in that guy's perspective. But it also that very much mirrors the real world paranoia, right? That people have of things they don't know.
Yeah, as soon as something happens, oh, this party is responsible for this, and they're trying to do this all the time. But also, I love, while you were talking about the movie, just to go back a little bit, I love how, as you're saying, that obviously the war and the paranoia of it is there in the movie. I love how they didn't bring in the military until the story required it.
Yes.
In the film.
Yes.
It started off as a joke, obviously, because it's a film and it's comedy, and the government, yeah, there's, but the undertone wasn't as obviously it's an undertone, so it can't be that strong. Mm-hmm. But the military only came through when the story required it. We didn't get like back and forth with the military trying to figure out what this is, because that would have been overkill.
Yes, that definitely would have been overkill. They came through at the right time.
Absolutely,
definitely the right time. And I think another theme that we've got here is like the whole, like, I think we see it in like a lot of the films, a lot of superhero films in general, like the nature of like being a hero, or is it like heroism or something like that, where we'll take Superman, Man of Steel. What's the other film? Brightburn.
Yep.
So it's like technically the same character, right? But one choose to reject the violence and become the hero that is Superman, and the other, because raised in a different environment with different circumstances, ends up embracing the violence and becomes Brightburn.
Oh yeah.
Because the giant landed, and like a lot of like main interaction that he faced was with this beautiful, kind boy, he went into the side of rejecting the violence. And with Brightburn, because with a different environment, they're landing differently. And people, if you haven't seen Brightburn, I think it's a nice film to watch. But yeah, it just shows how different things could turn out, basically.
And it's so cool. But while you're mentioning the friend Hogarth, I just said it now. Like, he was looking for a friend.
Yes.
So in the robot, he didn't see an enemy; he saw a friend.
Yes.
And that sort of shaped the Giants' sort of perspective on like relationship with the humans and his identity as well. Like, do I want to be a friend or do I want to be an enemy? Because so he saw what it means to be a friend and sort of the impacts and effects you have on people, and he was like, oh, that's who I want to be, not that guy.
Yeah
I want to shoot him, because if he was an enemy, he will fuck shit up immediately.
I mean, yes.
We saw what he's capable of.
He's definitely capable of like.
He's that guy. He is that guy.
He is that guy.
So the fact that he chose peace is a shout out to Hogarth who made them choose peace.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think like, don't even know if this is a thing, but I think that one of the main messages they were trying to like say with this film is basically saying, in life you have free will, and it's basically sort of revolving around the identity and the free will that people have, and giving it to something that's not necessarily and I feel like a lot of cartoons do this a lot, especially with Disney, where they put I think it's anthropomorphizing or whatever that word is, giving human qualities to like animalistic or animal or non-real objects, and we to make it easier for people to understand them. So like now with a giant, even though it's like a human giant, it's like, well, let's talk about these core things that humans sometimes deal with, and let's put them in something that's not human, so that it's easier for some people to see it. Because if it's in a human, sometimes like, nah, maybe that's just him. But if it's in something else, it's easier for people to identify with it. So with the Iron Giant, it's like, okay, you get to choose who you want to be. Do you become this weapon, like we've said, or do you become this protector or this good guy, following Superman as the identity thing?
And it's also, you can choose to be this guy or this guy, but I feel like it's also like, yes, you were made to be this guy,
yes,
but ultimately who you choose to be is more important than who you want to be. Yeah, because you can say, oh, I was made to be this thing, so I'm gonna be this thing, or I was made to be this thing, but I'm not gonna be this. But the fact is, you were made to be a weapon because you're a big giant robot. But we know that we're not gonna hide and pretend that you're not. But knowing that, moving on now, yes, I am a weapon. I was made to be a weapon, but that's not who I will be.
Yes.
But the people, obviously, the people know that, oh, this guy is a robot.
And I think
what's crazy is, I was thinking of Oppenheimer for no reason, because obviously he made the bomb, he made the bomb and stuff like that. But also during the early Cold War, everyone was making things.
Yes.
Everyone was like, oh, is this the thing they made to destroy us? Oh, no. So in a way, it's like, you're afraid that the enemy made a thing because you know that you're also making a thing.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not so innocent, pal.
Yeah.
You're not. But it's war, so everybody was making a thing to destroy the thing.
True. And I think at this time, because it's like the Cold War, it's like, well, if we didn't make it, someone else made it, and we have to destroy it before it does whatever it's supposed to do.
Yeah. But there's a funny line in the movie where it's like, we don't know these things were from Soviet Union, Canada, or something. I'm like, Canada? Canada? Oh my God, you're going to think this thing is from Canada. That was hilarious.
Hey, man, maybe back in the days they didn't trust Canada.
Maybe Canada was not always the nice guy.
Yeah.
Maybe he turned into the nice guy after fucking shit up for thousands of years. We don't know.
Hey, you never know, man. You never know. But yeah, overall, I thoroughly enjoy this movie. It's a cult classic for a reason. Those who haven't seen it, I recommend that you get out your ass. First of all, touch grass, then come back and like watch the Iron Giant.
You gotta see this movie.
Yeah.
For the warm vibes it is.
Yeah.
And for the great commentary it has, and for any Hogarth. You gotta any Hughes, not any Hogarth. Any shall I say? Hold up. You know what? In all the animated moms compilations, I have seen any Hughes picture, but I never thought of anything. I was like, I don't know who this is next. Now I know who Annie Hughes is.
Now you know.
Man, Man, top 10 animated.
Makes sense now, huh?
For me, my favorite is Annie Hughes now, and she's not a mom, but Aunt who?
There's so many ants.
From Big Hero 6.
Oh,
Aunt
yes.
Cass.
Yes. Yep, agreed.
Yeah, Aunt Cass, voiced by. Also, I think for me to think where if I like the voice actress, I like the character too, because I love Maya Rudolph. All day, every day. Yeah.
Makes sense. Fun fact, did you know, like, I think one of the reasons why this film is good and like everything works is because it was loosely inspired by a personal loss from Brad Bird. I think it's something about losing his sister in a shooting incident.
Oh damn.
Yeah, which shaped like the whole anti-violence message of the film.
Oh yeah.
And which is why I think it hit hard as well, because it's like he's doing something that is close to him.
Yeah, close to home.
Yeah.
Which I think is, goes back to the conversation we were having, where if you don't have any personal connection to the work, it's not worth it.
It's not. Bro, and remember I said I had some gripes with Warner Bros? These are my gripes. Bro, Warner Bros almost scrapped this movie.
Why?
I don't know, bro. Like, Brad had to fight to get the studio to support it. I'm like, Warner Bros.
Shout out to Brad, man.
And I think it's also like, you can tell because they probably didn't push the marketing, which is
Bro, Warner Bros has an identity problem.
They do.
They have an identity problem, and it's affecting everyone.
I think they were like, no, make the animals talk like Disney. Look at Lion King. Bro, get the hell out of here.
Warner Bros needs the confidence of A24. That's what they need.
Yes.
Because they release everything. A24. Oh man. Wait, you have a weird story about a talking unicorn? Right this way, my guy. Come over here.
Right this way.
Warner Bros is like, I don't know. I
don't know if that's a good idea.
Right now.
Are you gonna make money off of that?
Hold up. What other animated films came out in 96?
99.
Oh my god. I have no idea.
How many times you said 96 in this film?
You're gonna put a counter on the video?
Yes.
Oh, this man. 1999. I literally just typed 96 again. 1999. Let's see what we had. We had Tarzan. We had Toy Story 2. Okay. If you're competing with Toy Story 2, that's
a heavy competitor.
That's a heavy one right there. Yeah, I don't say nothing more. Fantasia.
Tarzan was also good.
Damn,
it was pretty big.
Yeah. Wait, so you had Disney, Pixar, Disney again with Tarzan, and then Warner Brothers.
Yeah.
Woo! That was a heavy year.
Yeah.
Woo! Still a little. What's still a little from?
Still a little.
It's not that animated though.
Still a little. Is kinda. It's like a mix, I guess.
Oh, well, it's Siege. Stuart Little was directed by M. Night. Get out of here.
Shyamalan?
Bruh. Are you serious right now? No, it was written by M. Night, but still. There are no twists in Stuart Little. When did he? Oh, it was before the twists.
Before the twist happened.
Yes, before the twist Shyamalan.
I was not expecting that.
Okay, so Stuart Little is Sony. Oh, so you had Sony, 2 Disneys, 1 Pixar, and Warner Brothers. God damn, that was a year right there.
Yeah.
That was a year right there.
That was a lot for that year.
And Tarzan. Let's see the budget for Tarzan.
Probably huge.
130 million.
I was about to say. Tarzan probably had a huge budget. I think this film had 50?
Yeah.
So less than half.
Less than half. But no, Tarzan was. There's nothing bad I'll say about Tarzan.
You can't say anything bad about
childhood classic as well.
Yes. But yes, thank you for bringing up Tarzan. One of the things I like about Brad in the Iron Giant is that, say with me now, no singing. No character broke out
Zero
into
singing.
song to like make no we just stuck.
Nobody snapping their fingers randomly. Where are we? The Iron Giant is going to hell. Nah, zero.
I think maybe that's also probably why Warner Bros. Is like, where are the songs? We need the kids to make money. And the guy was like, this is not that type of thing,
we need to release albums.
Yeah.
And Barrett's like, nah, we're just making a movie.
We're just making a movie.
Damn. Tarzan cost more than Toy Story 2?
What?
Okay, but 2D animation.
Yeah.
It's not for the faint of heart.
It's not for the weak.
It's definitely not for the weak.
Damn.
But this film is, it's a lovely film. I'm surprised I took this long to watch it because I remember my roommates watching it back in Boston. And I was like, oh, what, the movie about the giant robots guy? I thought it was cool back then. I was not cool at all.
You thought you were the man. Thought you were the shit.
I thought I was the shit, but I had zero shit in me. What? I don't even know what that means.
What does that mean?
We move on.
But yeah.
But I'm glad that there has been no talks of a sequel or a reboot.
Not that I know of. And I'm happy.
Not that I know of. If this was a Disney film, oh my god.
Maybe you're talking about a live action now.
If this was a Disney, well, immediately.
What I like, the only place I've seen the Iron Giant since is I think in Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Where he's had cameos and other things, but like it made sense because it's property of Warner Bros. And it's like in a game setting. So I think that's like the one thing.
But Ready Player One had all the cameos in the history of cameos. God damn.
Every single one, yes.
That's when you realize that like they own a lot of Hollywood property.
Yeah. They actually
but they do very little with it.
Or maybe they don't do good with it because they try to cash grab with that instead of making an actual good product.
They don't what?
They try to cash grab instead of actually making a good product.
Yeah.
Which is very unfortunate.
But when they make movies with less known things, they usually hit. Or if they have good filmmakers helming the movies.
Yes.
They also usually hit. But if they're trying to use the popular thing to cash grab, Warner Brothers.
They don't.
But also, not to shit on Warner Brothers, Disney does that too on a higher level. So you know.
No, 100%.
Just so the viewers know that we're not just shitting on Warner Brothers.
Yeah, no.
Disney, they mess up every day.
Disney has wet the bed so many times. I'm not even counting anymore.
It's not even a surprise.
Yeah. What's that other one that they did now? The new one, something with the witch.
Who?
The one with Gal Gadot.
Disney.
Yeah.
No, freaking white snow. Snow White. Goddamn. Quite a Snow White.
Snow.
Hey, listen, I slipped a little bit. Snow White. No one is looking forward to that.
Bruh. That one, I was like, I'm sorry. I didn't even know you until you told me that day. I had no idea they were making that film. And then I saw the trailer and I was like, why are they making this film? Just why?
Keep on releasing trailers and you're like, no, we don't want to see this.
Stop it. Get some.
Stop. This is not the stop it, I like it. This is like, no, seriously, stop.
Stop.
Shut it down. When is it coming out? I just want to know when it's coming out. March? A budget of 205 million.
That's
209.
too many millions.
That's too many millions.
That's too many.
Seriously.
Yeah.
When is it coming out? Jeez. March 21st. Okay. Oh! Did you see, speaking of releases, did you see the trailer for The Accountant 2?
I did.
Ah, man.
I did.
Sign me up.
I did. I'm actually low-key looking forward to that.
I am high key looking forward to that.
Yeah.
All the keys.
All the keys.
Yes.
It's going to be some good films. A few bad ones too, but mostly I feel like it's going to be some good films this year.
You gotta have bad ones to balance things out.
Yeah, we need the balance.
What are you, all good? What are we?
Sure. Speaking of films with Superman, we've got a new Superman film that's coming out this year.
I am interested. That's what I'm gonna say at this point. I'm not crazy looking forward to it, but I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
I think the way I feel about the Superman film is a similar way that I feel about the Fantastic Four film.
Yeah. There's no negativity.
None.
But
yeah, because a lot of people have been having issues with both for some reason. I don't have any issues with any of them. I'm just interested. I'm not like overly hyped, and I'm not hating on either. I'm just like, you know what? Okay, clean slate. Let's go see what you got.
Yeah, clean slate. No biases, no expectations.
Bias. Yeah.
Let's have a ride.
Yeah. But coming back to the Iron Giant, you got some final thoughts?
Heartwarming. That's my final thought. It's such a heartwarming film.
Yes. I'd say anyone.
Silence. Okay.
You don't have to be who people label you as. You've got the choice to be who you want to be.
I wish 2D animation could make a comeback in the big screen.
Bro, that would be nice actually. That would
just
be
a
nice.
little bit. Now we only get it from like smaller releases from DC animated films.
Yeah. And
But
I feel like even
small.
those DC animated films, they don't get like a proper theatrical run.
Yeah.
Just straight
At
to like
best. At best, they get like a small release at a local theater.
Yeah.
And then straight to streaming.
Yeah. It would be nice if like we had proper 2D films on screen. That would be very nice actually. But
Yes, we need more.
that's the Iron Giant. If you haven't seen it, please go check it out. Other than that is it from me.
And we will see you next time, ladies and gentlemen.
All right.
Find the Iron Giant in your lives. Or be the Iron Giant in your life.
Be the Iron Giant.
Wisdom right there.
Look at you. Cooking with grease.
Wisdom, son. Shout out to Ted Hughes.
Shout out.
All right.
Peace, bro.
Cheers.